Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back.
I know, I was trying to vibe to Mary, waiting for Mary to kick in, but there she is. It's Tuesday. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. And you know, this is the show where we kick all the trending topics and headlines across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. I, of course, am your host, Jill Munroe. And, you know, I was trying to vibe out to Mary. I forgot how long the intro is, but you got to give it because you have to hear the flutes and the whole, you know, it's very thematic, right? Really gives you that whole imagery of Mary standing. Was she on a mountaintop or something in that video? I believe so. Yep, I believe so. You know, and it gives you that feeling. You got to take it all in and breathe for a minute. And that's what we're doing here. So we are going to get into all of the trending topics and headlines for this Tuesday. I hope you are relaxed. I hope that you've had a great day and now you are ready to hang out with me, get your beverage, get your snack, because we have an amazing, amazing show, as always, to get into tonight. So before we do that, you know, we have to let you know, if you're not following us on social media, what's the problem? Why are you lagging? KBLA 1580 everywhere. Hit me up. Of course, I'm at Stiletto Jill. Now, you know, we have a bustling YouTube. So if you want to get involved and see the visuals along with the audio and chat it up with the fam there, make sure you're hitting that up, of course, and checking us out there. And if you're on the go, download the app. Take us with you. You can hear us anytime, anywhere you want. So now that we've gotten all the little details out of the way, let me give you the rundown of tonight's show. So, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about new couples. We've been talking about a lot of uncoupling. So we're going to discuss the new couple that might be on the horizon and debate on, does it still have the same effect dating a Kardashian? It's rumored that one NFL receiver is getting friendly with one of the Kardashian ladies. And it's kind of a reversal of a trend we've seen from them lately. So we're going to talk about that. We are going to get into a new 67-story luxury hotel that is opening in Las Vegas. Have to give you the details on all of that. It's pretty exciting, right? Of course it is. We're going to talk about Cardi B says, all of your favorite artists use songwriters. So is songwriting still considered a key component in an artist, in which you consider a superstar artist? Or at this point, does it still matter as much? Of course, songwriting matters, but is it still, you know, the diamond, the elite level, as far as one of the things that separates it? We're also going to talk about Sherri Shepherd. She made some changes, and she's back with her talk show. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into YouTube suspending a comedian and influencer based on some allegations. Is it fair for a social networking app essentially to come for your money, your monetization based on allegations and no charges? We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to get into the alleged reasons why Jeezy and Jeannie have split. And of course, I can't forget that I'm not alone tonight. I do have a guest. We are going to get into DJ Wells P. We're going to talk all about Curated LA, an experience that you're going to want to tap into. We're going to talk about a show that he is involved with coming up soon. And of course, we're going to get all into what it's like being that guy, that DJ, hitting on all the hot events, the people that you're interested in, all of that. And we're also going to talk to him about, we had a conversation the other day where a 30-year-old DJ said that she didn't believe that 50 Cent in the club was actually working in the club. So we're going to talk a little bit about the difference in generations as far as music and what the club scene is like and get his opinion on all of that. But before we do that, of course, I have a couple of conversation starters. So first up, we know Rihanna and A$AP Rocky recently had their second baby. His name is Riot Rose. And they, of course, have released photos today. So if you're on Instagram, Twitter, go check them out. See their little beautiful family coming together. So adorable. I love seeing Ree as a mommy and, a billionaire mom at that, doing the dang thing. Also, of course, I was upset with Max yesterday at HBO because they canceled my favorite show, Winning Time. But HBO Max has something just Max. Max has something coming for you NBA fans this upcoming season, and it's not going to cost you anything. There will be 65 regular NBA season games broadcast on Max. The in-season tournament, that's new this year. The All-Star Game and the All-Star Weekend, some of the 2024 NBA playoffs, and Inside the NBA, all will be available on Max for no extra cost. So, if you don't have Max, maybe you want to think about getting it for the NBA season. Seems like it's going to be tricky. I wonder how the NBA feels about that, but everyone's expanding into new areas. Andy has a conversation piece about this. What's going on?
So no TNT anymore?
No, it will still be on TNT, but TNT is under the Warner umbrella. So they're under the same family, like how it's Disney, ABC, and ESPN. So TNT, Warner Discovery is the overall parent. HBO is under there. So that means that you have access to Max, and Max is giving you access to the NBA. And with League Pass, what is League Pass now? About $400 or $500 it's hitting you for? I mean, that could be a look.
So I could download the app and still get the NBA games for free? Or do I still have to pay that monthly for Max, right?
Well, if you have Max already, then no, you don't have to pay anything extra.
Understood. I don't have Max, so I'm just
okay. If you know somebody with HBO, ask them for the thing so they can hook you up and you can get Max. But if you have that, then you, in addition to that, you'll get this. It'll still be on TNT, but this is just a little added bonus that you could get. If you miss Inside the NBA, and they run it back right after, but if you miss it, you're cooked. Now you have a way to go see all of those episodes. Listen, that's good money right there. That is good TV. That is good entertainment. When we come forward, we will be talking with our guest, DJ Wells P. Of course, we'll be hitting all the trending topics and headlines. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
I'm Dominique DePrima. We can all fall into the trap of mindlessly spending sometimes. I know I do it. But one tip for staying on track is when you have an impromptu purchase that comes up, try making a habit of taking a quick look at your bank account balance before you buy it. It's not just about seeing how much you have in your checking account. Just looking at your account might put the urge to make that impulse purchase into perspective and help you make better choices that'll benefit you for the long term. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiatives can help support you in reaching them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. And as I mentioned, I am joined by a guest tonight. I'm excited to talk to him because, you know, LA is a very special place. We have a very special vibe, especially when it comes to parties. And there's a different vibe for our day parties, to our night parties, kind of depending upon what part of the city you're in, all of that. I want to get into all of that with our guest, DJ Wells P. Welcome to RSVP with Jill Munroe. It's so great to have you here. So, first of all, DJing for 25 years, right? Being as far as touching different areas. What's it been like watching the music and nightclub scene evolve? Because I know here in LA, we hear a lot of talk about how the club scene isn't the same. You know, Hollywood is only it's not friendly for Black and brown people to really go to certain nights. And then because of bottle service, it's made everything sort of, you know, not fun anymore. We don't really party. So what are your thoughts sort of on the evolution of partying in LA?
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, you know, if I take it back just 10 years, right? That's kind of, I think when we started getting to where we're at now, where day parties have eclipsed night parties, right?
For sure.
So now you kind of have to figure out how to separate yourself. So, you know, where we're at now is your day party has to be damn good for your night party to, you know, for a night party to, you know, even have any weight. So you have to be creative. I think that, you know, what you see now is the promoters have switched to the demographics are younger, daytime, and then nighttime is whoever can make it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's interesting. So is that sort of what made you want to get into curated? Like, what made you want to say, hey, I want to take this on. I've been, you know, doing these parties for, listen, should I run down the list right now?
Go for it.
Should I run down the list? Because it's pretty stellar, right? Yeah. You've crafted unforgettable moments for world-renowned brands. Nike, the NFL, Visa, AEG. I mean, listen, the celebrities, Dave Chappelle. Gotta know what a Dave Chappelle party is like.
That was fun.
Chris Rock. Gotta know what a Chris Rock party is kind of like. Kobe. I know what that's like, but I still would like to hear some interesting stories. Come on now. Kobe, Michael, Kevin Durant, and Deion Sanders. Gotta know what a Deion's party is like. I mean, are you just, for the moment, do you talk to him like, so I'm inside about 11:45 must be the money on. You cool with that?
Prime was one of the most fun. I did his TV show when he was on NFL Network, and he knows his music, and he was like, I need that Tupac. So our favorite artist, was Tupac, and his song was All Eyes on Me. So he was like, I need to hear that. So I actually had asked him, I said, how do you feel about people playing Must Be the Money? And he's like, it's cool. Depends on, where I'm at or whatever. But he's like, that part of life is I'm kind of past that. He was out, but I still like to hear it. So Prime was great. And, you ran down the list, and, I'm blessed to say that I literally have worked with all of my heroes.
I mean, what's that like? Because
it's
getting
amazing.
to connect with them creatively and kind of, that's a different type of conversation than just, hey, I love your work. I love that game. I love that pass you made. Getting to kind of connect with them for an event and setting the vibe. You're getting to know a piece of them that people aren't necessarily locked in with. So what has been some of your favorite experiences as far as curating music for your heroes?
Man, like getting to work with Kobe was just amazing. Like, I'm like the biggest Kobe fan, and when I got the call, it was like, what, me? What? Like, are you serious? And so just knowing so much about him, I kind of was like, let me just test some things out to see, so, and he was in the back, I could kind of see, and I was just like playing some stuff, and I saw him like Bob. And so the magic moment was we did an event at the Fox Hills Mall for the Kobe 9, and I was like, let me see what I can bring him out to. And I brought him out to Drake Trophies. Now, the mall was packed. I mean, it was on the lower level. There was probably 5,000-6,000 people in there.
All looking down, trying to see
what's going on. And those horns started, that dun, 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 and like I saw him, he was like, and he came out, and like the crowd just like exploded. So like for me, like as a DJ, like at that moment, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I think I know what I'm doing here. But you know what it is? It's kind of knowing your client, and just kind of reading the crowd and making it about the person whose party it is or whose event, but looking at the crowd in there too. My whole thing and why I curated was I wanted to create a space where people can hear music that they love and they're comfortable with, and that they're comfortable having a good time. Because I think what we have now is with bottle service and all that, it gets so pretentious, and a lot of people don't go because they're like, I'm not paying this money to go and stand around if I don't want to spend $2,000-$3,000 for a Friday night. And also, like, I think being in LA too, we close at 2 a.m. right? So you got to get to the club at 10 to make your money worth it, right? So
and nobody wants to be there.
Nobody wants to. You don't want to be the first person in there, right? So, my thing has always been play the music that people really want to hear when they go out, and you don't have any, no rules there, right? So, I think what I've been able to do over the last couple of years is kind of find a pocket and see the same faces kind of fall through, and people always say like, "Oh my God, I had so much fun! Like I actually danced," or like, I felt like my whole thing is always I want women to feel safe in my spaces. So I'm not playing overly aggressive music. I'm playing like chill music. I want people to be able to have a conversation, but still have some fun and really party and go and tell their friends and tell a friend, and then, they end up coming to the next one.
So how do you pick the locations that you choose to have them? Because obviously LA, huge city, different parts of the city give you a different vibe. There are new spots that are cropping up all the time, or recycled spots that, were one thing and now something else. So how do you select what venues?
Great question. So my thing is I'm super selective, right? So it has to all mesh, because at this point it's a passion for me. It's not about trying to make the most money. It's not about trying to get tables. So it's about finding a space. The home of Curated has been at the LA Athletic Club downtown. That's where it all started at. Small, intimate room. And that's been great because you walk in and it looks like you're in a 1920s library. There's just books all around. It's a very, there's chairs and couches. So that's the kind of vibe I like. I like a chill, low light, where people can just feel like comfortable. And I like them to bring the lights down, because you get people who might not normally go out, who feel a little bit more comfortable, like, oh, I can bop in the corner,
right,
because you don't want to be the
couple
one,
of shadows over there,
a couple of shadows over there. And so that's my thing. My thing is like small, intimate. So I've done LA Athletic Club, done Grandmaster Recorders in Hollywood, which is like, they have the room 72, which is a small room, kind of has like a 70s disco kind of vibe to it. So that's just kind of like my criteria for it. I don't need it to be
cavernous, sold out, echoing.
People would delivering bottles from the ceiling and all. I'm not knocking it, but it's just, not for me. But just a nice, cool, chill spot.
So when you set up for that you're going to do, how often are curated? Like, how often do you
so at this point, they're like maybe once or twice a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that you stand out? Because as we know, we're LA. There's so much for us to do. There's so many different things, and you've carved your own area and niche. How do you go about doing that and making sure that, you don't blend into the 75 other things and you keep your...
I honestly think it's the music. I think it's when people come to a curated, they might know, they might not know, but by the time they leave, they're going to be like, oh, this was fun, because they hear the music that's played is not, I would call it traditional in the sense of like top 40 all over the place. But I let the music speak. I don't jump on the mic. I just let the music talk. I'm all about smooth transitions. I'm about wordplay and songs. And I take pride in like reading a crowd. Like I can see if I'm like, okay, those girls over there are vibing, or those dudes over there vibing, or I see guys looking at the girls, so I'm like, let me play some music and get these people talking. So as a DJ, you have that control, right? And I think if you use your powers in the right way, you can really make some magical connections that bring people back. So my thing is always leave people with an experience that they'll tell a friend, and then that's usually how I meet new people. Like, oh my God, such and such told me about this party. I had to come check it out. I had an amazing time,
So as you do other events and things across the country and so forth, what is it for you as someone maybe, coming in from here where we have one type of vibe where you build the night, and someplace else where it goes a different way? How do you sort of keep your style in, but make sure that you're, giving the people what they want in other areas? Because sometimes,
it's reading the crowd, right? There's, any DJ can tell you that every night's not gonna be perfect, right? So there's some nights that I might go a certain direction. I'm like, it's not working. So I got to kind of switch it up. But that's just, knowing your craft, right? Working on your craft, just keeping your ear to new stuff. Maybe there's some old stuff that you haven't heard in a while that maybe, you can give it a try. So, I think it's just being consistent too. Like being consistent, don't mail it in. Like I was, telling a couple minutes ago about how, sometimes people just make a list and then they just stay in that list. And then if it doesn't work, then now you've kind of like cheated yourself and you cheated the night. And, then people are like, oh, I'm not coming back to that. It was kind of whack. So, I think that it's just staying consistent, staying true to self. And then just reading the crowd, just seeing what works and continuing to go with it.
So along those lines, I mentioned the young DJ. She was from Delaware, and she said that 50 Cent doesn't get any play in her set. She doesn't know any woman that likes 50 songs, and nobody really danced to In the Club. Do you think that because right now we're at a point where music is readily available everywhere, and even though you have so much more access, it's easier to get to rare music or to find in theory, I feel like people stay very locked in a box. Do you find that when dealing with younger DJs or whatever, they're resistant to expand their music base? Because I feel like I'm Gen X. So I feel like, my generation was digging in the crates. They started that, sampling or whatever. But I think that that's kind of a lost thing. Even when they ripped the samples, even some of their mixes, it's like, dang, that sounds just like what's his name? So do you find that you have that sort of reaction, or that you see that with younger DJs?
Yeah, so I think to address the Delaware DJ about 50 Cent, like, that song was the biggest song in the world.
Right.
And it still goes. So I think I tweeted out, I said, you've never seen like a girls' night out when that song comes on. And I say that because like she said about like, oh, I've never seen women. I'm like, nah, like you put that on.
No, I was in the club when In the Club came out. We were rocking to that.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so that's a still song. But yeah, I think to answer your question there, I think as we progress over time, everyone's styles get a little bit different, right? So when I started DJing in high school, it was in the mid 90s, and that's the music that is just timeless music, right? I think now the kids have their own music and they don't go back, right? But I think that there's space for everybody, and I think that's, you know, especially living in a city like here, you can go to party and not hear a song that was made before 2019, right? And that's fine, because I look at it like, okay, if these kids are 21 to 28, when I was in the club at 21 to 28, I know what I wanted to hear too, right? So I think that, you know, you can be a mentor, but you don't have to be a, like, some DJs now, they don't want to have like an OG, right? Like they kind of want to just figure it out. But I do think that like being able to cross over every single genre is a true testament of like a real, like, you know, real good DJ.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Do you think that because they didn't have to carry crates and what have you, that they don't have the same appreciation for it?
You know
do
what?
You think that that's just like, you know what, old head stuff?
You know, the crazy thing is that like I get comments from old heads who say that now to me, and I'm like, no, I'm the same age as you. Like, but it's just evolution, right? So we went from, you know, I started with crates and CDs. I think I started like crates. I mean, CDs were just kind of coming in, and then, you know, probably turn of the century, probably 2005-06 is when Serato came out. But people were still carrying crates because they didn't trust the computer.
Right.
Where now you don't even need a computer. You can bring a USB stick. So it's like, what's next? Now the next things are the controllers that have your library built into it, and you can stream it from home. So it's just, you just have to kind of get with the times, right? I don't think that there's really a disconnect there, because technology is technology, and if people want to steal you can still use turntables. You know, no problem.
You can do the thing.
Yeah.
So I do have a kind of controversial question, but we're going to wait till we get on the other side to ask that. When we come forward, we will have more from DJ Wells P. We're also going to get into the tour that he is opening up for that is in the San Diego area. Ladies, I'm sure you'll be interested in a little bit about that. Of course, more trending topics and headlines. We are going to talk about Odell and his mystery Kardashian and what's going on with that. Plus, you know, a couple of other little ditties that we have for you. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA. Talk 1580. News and Sports is up next.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden says the U.S. wants to responsibly manage its competition with China. Speaking to the UN General Assembly on Tuesday, the president said the U.S. will push back on aggression and intimidation, but will stand ready to work with China on issues where progress hinges on common efforts. A Miami-Dade County man is facing hate crime charges. Homestead's Jason Doster was arrested Sunday for allegedly robbing a man at an ATM in North Miami Beach. Police say the 42-year-old told the victim he was robbing him because he's Haitian. The Powerball jackpot is soaring with no grand prize winner in Monday night's drawing. The latest rollover means at least $672 million will be on the line come Wednesday. The cash value on that works out to just over $320 million. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side. All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The accident guys can come to you almost anywhere, so you don't have to come to us. Se habla español.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a respa,
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Is your eyesight changing?
I can't read this anymore.
Don't lose hope. People just like you are working every day using Braille, screen magnification, speech technology, and other tools and blindness skills. Your eyesight may have changed, but your goals, they don't have to. We can help. Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, Queen Pen. Shout out to her. I wonder where Queen Pen is now. I feel like it came up on Twitter at one point. But shout out to, what was this, 97? I think her and the Lost Boys ripping it up. Shout out to them. Random Queen Pen fact. You know, she used to date Biz, I think that was his name, from the Fat Boys, the Human Beatbox.
Biz Marquis?
No, they called him, maybe it's Buff. Buff, that's it. Buff, the actual beatbox.
Oh, okay.
She used to date him. Random facts that I just keep in my head about hip-hop knowledge. For whatever reason, I don't know. But shout out to Queen Pen. And what was the song she had with Blackstreet? No Diggity.
Oh, No Diggity. She probably still get paid off of that. That's a
I
monster
would hope
record.
so. Yeah, that one, that was 96. I remember that for sure. That sample, the video, all of that. Yeah, Dr. Dre and Blackstreet. That was a banger. So we were talking about, the difference in kind of clubs or whatever. And you mentioned we were talking about how New York DJs run their set. And it's very different from a West Coast DJ who's going to take you kind of on a musical journey.
Right.
So do you think that it is because of West Coast sort of environment, love for oldies and car culture and all of that? Because, obviously we have our distinctive sound, but I never thought about it in the way that we rock a party.
Right.
So what stands out to you about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's when you go to New York or on the East Coast and you go to a party, it's like, it's very fast motion, right? So like the songs are like bang, 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 bang. A DJ might get through 6 songs in a minute, because it's very it's very quick. Whereas here it's a vibe. So like it's more of, you can go from one song, blend into the other, and you kind of can go up or down or whatever. But I think it's just like you said, like here we're, OG, G-funk culture, and we're just raised on that, right? Like we had soul music playing every weekend as we clean the house. So like we have more of appreciation for kind of the long form when it comes to like party rocket, right? Like, so you can go to a party and hear the songs, hear a hook at least or whatever. You go to New York, like, okay, I'm walking into, we're going to party immediately, right? Like, but like I was saying, like it's an experience because you get to stay out till like 4 a.m. So you get to kind of go through all over the place in New York. I love New York.
So what about like rocking a party in Vegas or Miami? Because obviously you get to stay out late in those places too, but very different vibes. I mean, there are similarities sometimes, both you can have like electronic dance, house influence, more so than you see here or in New York. But what's the difference in those types of parties?
That's like primarily electronic music, which like as a DJ, you have to be creative because all the songs sound alike. So you have to kind of figure out where you want to go with it, because you can go deep house with it or you can go electro house with it. Just depends on the crowd, because, I would say like a Friday night, Saturday night crowd is going to be younger. So they want to hear like, all of the new like EDM stuff, and you kind of just can go one after another. But those end up being, parties where you don't really get a chance to play what you want to play. You kind of have to play what the club wants you to play. And that's fine. That's what you kind of sign up for. But it's very interesting because, again, there's a remix to everything. But it's like some places you can't play the hip hop remix. Right.
Oh, okay.
So you have to just play. You can play the safe remix. You can play the Nelly EDM remix, right? But you're not playing the Bobby Shmurda EDM remix. So yeah. So it's just just depending on where you are.
So you've also rocked internationally. I always tell people, like, when I went to Greece a couple years ago, and I'm going to talk to you about something that we both did separately, but it was fun. But every club we went to, the highlight of the night was their version of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. In every club, like, they had a version of, and it was crazy, but it went up, and the whole club went crazy.
Yeah.
So what are some of those, like, international things when you're rocking parties internationally that we here in America would be like, what? But has them going?
You know what? It goes both, here, but DMX overseas is
they go
crazy. Like Party Up is like, oh man, that's one of those you put into your crate of like, if nothing's working for you, you hit Party Up and then you're good. You can get back on track.
That is crazy.
And then I would say probably, wow. Yeah, the Eddie Murphy I've definitely heard Eddie Murphy, or like Journey.
Okay.
Yeah, that usually,
like Don't Stop
Believing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like when you have an American DJ overseas, like that's like your
go-to, your
rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you did Croatia Yacht Week a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like? Because I did Yacht Week, but it was not like a black, group of Yacht Week. It was just we were one of the yachts that had black people on it, and there was a couple others. We caused a lot of attention because at that time this was like 2014, I think, when we did it. So we had a Black Lives Matter flag that we didn't put up our American flag. We put up a Black Lives Matter flag, and it got us a lot of attention. So what was that like being in Croatia?
Yeah, Croatia was amazing. So I went out there with the Brunch to Bomb, We to Bomb team to do the We to Bomb party, and it was great because the whole trip it was called Yachtnik, so it was like Yacht Week, but just like all black people from all different walks of life. So you have people that went to college together, you have people who just work together, you have people who just met on the trip. But it was great to say that we were, at one of the oldest castles in Croatia playing Junior Mafia was just amazing.
Sick, right?
Yeah, it was like, it gave me like goosebumps when I got up to the booth. I'm like, I'm in Croatia playing hip hop music. Like this is crazy. But it was a great experience because you got to have some of the parties that are still big. You had R&B house party, you had Brunch to Bomb, you had Southern Hospitality, which was just here in LA last week. So to have all those across on the other side of the world was just amazing. And it just shows that like, our music is international. Our host and our skipper would come out to the parties and they're just like, you guys have so much fun.
Right.
You guys have so much fun. And they do this all year.
But a totally different experience for them than their usual.
And also what was dope was they said that like they had, kind of like premonitions of like, should we do this? And they said, y'all are more chill than all the other people that we've had, come through. Because again, I think we knew like, okay, we're all over. We got to be on good behavior.
Right. You can't be in Croatia like.
No, we can't be wilding over there.
I'm telling somebody, not a black person, but somebody in like from one of the yachts got arrested over there after one of those. Because they're piling you with all that alcohol and you're on those things. And I was like, good luck with that. I would not want to be randomly arrested in a foreign country. When we come forward, we're going to get into the Champagne and Roses tour that you will be opening up for. Plus, I'm going to get your thoughts on this Kim Kardashian, Odell Beckham Jr. rumor that's spinning around, and plus more trending topics and headlines. All of that and more. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at EasterSeals.com.
When my family does Walt Disney World Resort, we do it big.
Bippity boppity big, like Cinderella Castle.
Big, like those juicy turkey legs from Gaston's Tavern.
It doesn't get any bigger than the Tam Tam Drummers. Get it, Grandma.
Yeah, and big like Goofy's kicks. Oh,
yeah.
It's your world, so do it big at Walt Disney World Resort.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed,
rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose America.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we have a guest in studio, DJ Wells P. He is responsible, the creator of CURATED, which is an LA. How would you describe it? Because it's more than just like a monthly party thing. How would you describe it?
Yeah, so I would say CURATED is a space where you hear music that you love around people that you know or you don't know that you want to meet,
that you feel connected
to. And it's a space where you can just have fun, be yourself, and come on to the next one.
Okay, so before we move on, where can people get the details for CURATED so that they know they're on the list?
Yeah.
They're locked in for the next one coming
so on Instagram, CURATED DTLA, or my social is Wells_P.
Okay. So I mentioned that they're building a new 67-story, they're opening a 67-story luxury hotel in Vegas, 6-acre pool complex, 36 bars and restaurants. It's a $3.7 billion project, and it's only the second newly built resort on the Las Vegas Strip in the past decade. So it is the Fontainebleau Las Vegas.
Okay.
They're opening that up. There's 3,600 rooms. It's going to be the tallest occupiable building on the Strip. I believe it's at the north end. And as far as entertainment, which obviously kind of pertains to you, there's going to be, they're having a whole hub. So there is a 3,800 seat theater, right? A 90,000 square foot theater. And of course, they're bringing Live Las Vegas.
Wow. That's going to be crazy.
So it's being designed by David Grutman, who obviously is a Miami nightlife icon. And there's going to be a 50,000 square foot outdoor stadium styled Live Beach, 2-story day club built all around the DJ booth. So it opens December 13th.
Okay.
Get your coins ready.
Yeah, get that ready.
The 6-acre pool complex is on the 3rd floor roof deck, 4 bars, 2 restaurants, 2,300 of gaming space. And they have 15,000 square foot fitness center, which has a wellness area, a 55,000 square foot lap spa.
Wow.
So, get ready, Vegas.
Yeah.
It's coming. Vegas is going to be the entertainment capital of the world.
Live in Vegas is, wow. Okay.
Live in Vegas is probably going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. But listen, so you are going to be opening up for the Champagne and Roses tour in their San Diego stop. It's Neo, Mario, and Pleasure P. So it's a night of love, it sounds like, for the ladies.
Yes.
So talk about the date for that and what kind of night should, I'm saying ladies, or maybe date night.
Yeah.
What should the crowd expect if they're coming to that show?
Yeah, so October 3rd, it will be in the San Diego area. Wow, that night's gonna be special. Basically, when I talked to Neo's team, they said just do what you do. So it's gonna be a curated night. A lot of R&B, a lot of sing-alongs, definitely date night music, two-step with your boo. A lot of just songs that you love from the 90s and the 2000s. With some new stuff sprinkled in. The whole thing is champagne and roses, so we got to make it sexy.
Okay, vibing out there. Are tickets still available?
Yeah, tickets are still available. Live Nation. If you go to my page, I have the link right there. October 3rd.
October 3rd. So when you're doing, is there a difference for you from a regular curated to something where you're putting a little more love and hearts and flowers in the mix?
Yeah, a little bit. So, I think for an event like this, the directive is, keep it sexy, keep it fun, keep people, get their energy up, because you're going to be opening from the time the doors open and then in between the acts. So it's just keeping the crowd involved. And I think, that's why we have so many great musical anthems that people love to sing along to. And when you're at a concert, you just sing your heart out and don't worry about if you sound good or not. But yeah, I've already had some people say like, oh, I'm going to make it an anniversary trip, or, I'm going to, a buddy of mine is, he just started dating this girl, and he's like, oh, this is going to be our first kind of trip down to San Diego, and we're going to make the concert like a date night. And so I was like, perfect. This is exactly what I love to see. Okay. So that's coming up October 3rd. And then when is the next curated? Next curated will be the first Friday of October. Okay, so that's a weekend. So you're starting off October with the whole vibe. Yep. So I have to ask you about this run day service. Oh yeah. I see you guys like I have never seen such a group of friends have a private basketball run that looks so lit. Like you guys are in sometimes different spots. I mean, sometimes it's like really different brands come in and do it up for you guys. So kind of how did that start off, and what is it about music, basketball, and lifestyle, those type of things sports really, that all blend together perfectly for you? Yeah, so Run Day actually started in New York with my guys Jamal and Della, and they had a basketball run in New York City, and then they both moved to LA around like 2018, 2019. And I got connected to the two of them through our mutual friend Niles. And, I was kind of the LA basketball guy, and they were like, yeah, we just need a space to play. And, we literally were just talking about this today. We started Run Day LA on the day that Kobe passed away. Wow. And we were on the court as, everything was happening. And I think that, to be honest, it kind of brought the community together, because at that moment we kind of just had each other, but we played and we had an amazing day, because we were like, that's what Kobe would want. Absolutely. But it's kind of grown. It's become like it's like our baby. And I think it's just organic. What you see on Instagram is literally it. We're one big family. So yeah, of course we laugh and fight like a family. But at the end of the day, it's all love. But the intersection of it is we have people that are in music. We have people that are in sports. We have people that are just normal people, but they just love basketball. And so the tagline is community and cardio. And that's what we get out of it. So we actually have LA and New York rolling at the same time. So it's becoming like almost like a second or third job, but it's a real big added into the mix. The prime example of a passion project. Okay. So right now, what are your top 3 songs that you're listening to, that you're vibing to right now? Top 3 songs. Oh man, let's see. Stuff that's new. Okay, so I would say I play, if I go new stuff, Gunna, because I think he just has a good story. I don't know what the language is, but no profanity. F you mean? Okay, that is a song that we vibe to. Yeah. That's like one of those, you getting ready, like you just got to turn that on because you're feeling yourself. You in the building, right? Yeah. Let me just look at my list. I literally just had a list of new songs. There is Sexy Red Ski. I know that's a very it's a song for the ladies, but I think it's great.
So let me ask you this, okay? I'm going to put a pin in that really quickly. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because what we've talked about quite a bit on this show, the reason why we feel like right now women are running hip-hop is because they get other women or people in general to the dance floor, whereas the men's music isn't doing that.
Correct.
Do you find that to be true?
100%. 100%. I think that, like, my thing I always tell my boys is, like, let the girls have fun. Like, like that is what you want, right? And I'm a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan. And when her songs started to become more popular, I'm like, the women are dancing. The guys, that means the guys are buying drinks. Like, it's a great scenario. But I think that, like, this movement right now with the girls is amazing. Like, all of them are talented. All of them, it might not be the most sonically great, but it's fun. They're having a great time, and that's all you can really ask for in music. Is entertainment at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So tell us one more time where we can find you on Instagram.
Yeah, Wells_P or Curated DTLA. Wait, my last song is ICU by Coco Jones.
Okay. But that's a slow song.
But you get,
But okay,
Champagne and Roses.
Right, we're getting ready for that. Listen, if somebody's sending you to the ICU, that's a special kind of love. Yes. That's a special kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That is a special kind of night. So Curated LA coming up first weekend in October 3rd, Champagne and Roses tour in the San Diego area. If you mean ICU and Sexy Red for our playlist things. Is there anything else before we let you go? We are so thankful that you came and blessed us for the evening, shared your musicality with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always good to talk to you. And definitely thank you.
Of course. So listen, when we come forward in a second, I'm just priming you guys. I'm just getting you ready. We're going to be more trending topics and headlines. We're going to talk about Cardi B and her assertion that, all of your favorite artists use songwriters. So why are you mad at her for doing it? I'll tell you what, I'm not mad at you, Cardi. You deliver like you wrote it. So that has to count for something. Of course, we'll have more trending topics and headlines on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Down the whole bottle of Henny, peeping shorties in my vision, seeing many. But there's something about you. You seem off the hook, giving me that I wanna say something new. Plus I dress you wearing, got my whole team staring. You not bouncing with me, I'm not hearing. Licking the lips, for real, like you really wanted. Is you dealing with the cat that's blunted? Say for real. Shorty rock, is you down to go hard with the jump a whole round? You see, I have my eyes on you from way across the room.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden says the